Half Hennessy and then Platinum Scissors. 1, 6, 8 and 7. On course, Lonhro very firm elect, but much shorter the tote than what they're betting on course. Clangalang is the only...
Tattersalls Chelmsford Stakes won last year by Lonhro. And most think he'll make it back-to-back. Tyrone, they're on the turn in the Chelmsford Stakes, and Monmeckie a length clear. On Accelerator getting a little closer. Lonhro called upon now, and he's sprinting up to them quickly. Platinum Scissors looking for the way through, and then Carnegie Express, who's running a good race today. Lonhro, is he as flat as a strap? Beedman has a peep. Lonhro ridden hard now. Accelerator second, and then Platinum Scissors from Carnegie Express, but he accelerates now, Lonhro, and away goes Lonhro from Platinum Scissors and Accelerator, and that's the way they finish. Lonhro from Platinum Scissors, Accelerator, and Clangalang getting home well. Carnegie Express, a nice...
You know, it's everyone sort of loves the old-time champions, you know. Well, there hasn't been a champion since Carbine, if you ask a few of them, but he's a modern-day champion. You know, the young people love him. It's the best horse, you know, the young people at the track have seen ever, I'd suggest. And what more can he do? He's won 20 from 27. He's, you know...
They got no idea. They got no idea, those people who think he's a meat pie champion. If you can win 20 out of 27, I don't care where you win them, you're a good horse. He's won them at the highest level. He hasn't won a big one in Melbourne. All right.
The Ascot Vale, I wonder what will happen in the Craig Lee. 1,600 metres, the race due in 14 minutes. There are the ratings. Walk, Natural Blitz has been a drifter, Hellenus a drifter. Craig Lee in a very important...
Now, Mama from the leader at the 750, and St Basil the leader. They're not gone. They haven't gone all that fast. He's about ahead in front. Bush Padre second. Walk on Air right behind them third on the inside of the nose roll. He's trying to get away from the rails. Does so now. Roman Arch swung wide, and Hellenus is coming deeper. And then came Strasbourg, and back behind them is in the field Honor Babe, and Natural Blitz one of the last on the inside. But they're bunched at the 400 metres. Bush Padre after St Basil. Walk on Air in the clear. Roman Arch putting in a run down the outside. Hellenus is the widest runner. Mummify getting a run through. Natural Blitz is also putting in a run down near the inside. 150 metres to go. Walk on Air, Mummify, Roman Arch. Hellenus is putting in. Pentastic is late. Walk on Air just had the lead. Pentastic's diving through between horses. He's got him. Pentastic. He's come from nowhere and won it from either Walk on Air or Mummify. Hellenus is the widest runner. Mummify getting a run through. Natural Blitz is also putting in a run down near the inside. 150 metres to go. Walk on Air, Mummify, Roman Arch. Hellenus is putting in. Pentastic is late. Walk on Air just had the lead. Pentastic's diving through between horses. He's got him. Pentastic. He's come from nowhere and won it from either Walk on Air or Mummify. Strasbourg is close up. Then Honor Babe out wide. They stretch right across the track, those horses. In behind them there was Natural Blitz, Roman Arch.
He's been around the Sydney Cup as a 3-year-old. He's run the Melbourne Cup as a 4-year-old. I think he's probably the, you know...
One of whom was Mummify. I thought Hellenus wasn't a bad run. If you want to throw in some others there, I'll throw in Strasbourg, Honor Babe, you know.
What about Natural Blitz? He was charging up the fence and got stopped in his tracks.
Absolutely.
Of the Fian Stakes, one of the features today at Moonee Valley, top raider La Zagaletta, the Memsie Stakes winner. Penny on her Fian Stakes.
Placed in the Queensland Oaks. She goes in next to La Zagaletta. Old marvel he is. He ran Chattanooga, Cumbria, and Natural Blitz is last of all, about 12 off the leader. De Gaulle Lane at the 800 by a length and a half. Out of option second. Zvezda's a length away third. Pure Theatre a half length away fourth. Vocabulary a length back fifth on the inside. Now the speed is very genuine. They're followed then by Vicksburg around the outside of Penny Gem. 1.5 to Bush Padre, just tickled along a little bit, followed by La Zagaletta, Chattanooga, Piace, Cumbria hard ridden, and Natural Blitz starting a long run. It's De Gaulle Lane, the leader. Coming towards the 400, got away by 2.5 out of options. Vocabulary is making ground along the inside now. Zvezda's under pressure. La Zagaletta's coming through on the fence, and Natural Blitz winds up wide. De Gaulle Lane running a big race. He's cornering by 2. Vocabulary gives chase now. Natural Blitz, the widest, is still coming, and then La Zagaletta. De Gaulle Lane grabbed by Vocabulary. Natural Blitz is after Vocabulary. Vocabulary about ahead in front of De Gaulle Lane. Natural Blitz driving now. Natural Blitz grabbing the lead, and Natural Blitz a deserved win over Vocabulary. Third to Gore Lane ran a great race on the fence, and Natural Blitz winds up wide. To Gore Lane running a big race. He's cornering by 2. Vocabulary gives chase now. Natural Blitz, the widest, is still coming, and then Lazagoletta. To Gore Lane grabbed by Vocabulary. Natural Blitz is after Vocabulary. Vocabulary about a head in front of De Gore Lane. Natural Blitz driving now. Natural Blitz grabbing the lead, and Natural Blitz, a deserved win over Vocabulary. Third De Gore Lane ran a great race. Next Out of Options battled strongly. Pierre. Well, does he deserve that? Number 10, Natural Blitz taking it. Moved too strong. 10, 14, 5. De Gore Lane running along strongly in front.
They're wrapped. And so you should be. That was an absolutely super effort from Natural Blitz. When they're claiming De Gore Lane, but Natural Blitz, well, he might be a Cox Plate horse, Keith, and, you know...
A week ago, Richard, that we pointed to his second last performance in the Craigley Stakes and made the comment that if he'd got a clear crack at them in the straight, he would have been in the finish. Well, there he is in the lime green colours, gathering in Vocabulary now. A terrific performance. He was near last at the 800 metres.
They've gone with Lonhro and Grand Army equally, 1 and 3, then to the George Main. And at this point in time, they're about to move in for the George Main.
A length and 3/4 to Grand Army, likewise moving forward, followed by Platinum Scissors. 1.5 then to Lonhro, followed by Defire. And Half Hennessy brings up the rear. They're on the corner in the George Main. And Archave first to straighten up a half-dress circle. A length to Grand Army, and here's Beedman making his run on Lonhro. Platinum Scissors, Defire and Half Hennessy. Here is Lonhro sprinting very quickly after Grand Army, but Lonhro, all systems are go now, and Sydney's Thoroughbred Idol raced clear from Grand Army, and then Defire, but it's Lonhro's George Main Stakes. Second Grand Army, and here's Beedman making his run on Lonhro. Platinum Scissors, Defire and Half Hennessy. Here is Lonhro sprinting very quickly after Grand Army, but Lonhro, all systems are go now, and Sydney's Thoroughbred Idol raced clear from Grand Army, and then Defire, but it's Lonhro's George Main Stakes. Second Grand Army, and third was Defire. Fourth Platinum Scissors. Gee, the horse. He's a wonderful horse, isn't he?
Now they say he is a champion.
Wonder who's going to beat him in the Cox Plate. Those overseas horses, that's 21 wins now from 28 starts and a couple of minor places.
Chavez just led as he pleased, and when the hammer went down, well, Lonhro, there's no one can beat him at that game.
No.
That is his game.
Yeah, he's a champion at it. So.
Yep.
Look, getting back to that crowd, you know, like, I've never heard, you know, pound for pound, there was only 15,000 people yesterday, but that roar, Joe, look, the biggest roar I heard was when Fairy King Prawn loomed up to Sunline in Hong Kong, but pound for pound, that was bigger. You know, with 15,000 people, that was just incredible moment.
Now, the big Group 1 race this afternoon is the Vinery Stud 1,000 Guineas from Caulfield, and the race is coming up. It's due in 13 minutes. The ratings are with Special Harmony and Unearthly, then Shamika.
Drawn awkwardly, but 4 of the past 7 winners have come from double-figure barrier stall positions. About a length in front of Santissima. On the outside, Bahamian Star from Ashanti. Portland Damask right behind the leader now, and they were followed further back by Taliballotto. Special Harmony trying to work clear, but she's in traffic as they corner. Shamika comes away from the rail, leads Santissima. Getting up on the inside, Portland Damask has hit the front with Spursent, who's railed right through. Spursent goes to the lead on the inside now. Here's Special Harmony seeing daylight, and she's sprinting up strongly, hitting with a run on the outside, but Special Harmony hits the front. Hinting closes the outside. Special Harmony wins it. Special Harmony by 2 lengths brilliantly from Hinting. Spursent ahead away third. Portland Damask fourth. And Friedman, it's his third victory in this 1,000 Guineas. He's had 3 plays.
I mean, you know, to extricate herself from the pocket and then sprint as hard as she did, she's clearly the best filly at the moment. Yeah. At the home.
Got no doubt about that, with most trainers going to put the saddle on, and also the jock.
Highlights. There's the betting on the tote. I can tell you that on course it's Mummify, which is the favourite entry for the Caulfield Cup. Ever heard? It has drawn a very awkward barrier. The pressure will be on Danny Nikolic in the early stages too. Mummify's driving forward for Nikolic, and he's going to lead.
Mummified down to the judge, crossed over to the fence in front of Platinings to Vicksburg, Grey Song, and then came Sunday Joy, Maccabi Diva and Oarsman back amongst the tail enders at the 500, and Mummify the leader. Hugs Dancer second from Platinum Scissors. In Time's Eye under pressure, then Grand Army. Ain't Seen Nothing is running on, followed then as they corner by Hale, and next is Strasbourg. Mummify's going for home in the Caulfield Cup. Nikolic has it out by 3 lengths to Hugs Dancer. Ain't Seen Nothing, Platinum Scissors. Then came Distinctly Secret, and further back is Honor Bay, but Mummify is well clear at the 150. He's 3 lengths in front of Distinctly Secret, Hugs Dancer, Maccabi Diva, Mummify getting tired, Distinctly Secret, Grey Song fly out wide, but Mummify has won the Caulfield Cup. A great all-the-way win from either Grey Song, Distinctly Secret, or Maccabi Diva, who photo finished for the Miners. Just behind these, Zagalia, Ain't Seen Nothing.
Yeah, well, that was plan B. Plan B was if we couldn't get a sit, go all the way, go wire to wire. Of course, is one of major Group 1 race. Yeah, fair enough.
2.5 kilograms, Jim Bowler's given you, 55 for the Melbourne Cup. That's obviously news to you as we speak, but your reaction to that?
Absolutely wrapped. No, seriously, absolutely wrapped. I think when Bowler gives them a big penalty, they've won big, and they always run great in the Cup. So Jim's opinion of how horses win, and yeah, I'm happy with that.
I can see Brother Anthony standing next to him thinking, you might live to regret those words at some stage in the future, Lee, when Jim gives you a horse. That he sort of got the staggers. The last 50 metres he was starting to get tired, but that's the second fastest time in history. Now,
this is the listed Tattersalls Lightning handicap, sees the return of Shogun Lodge, and there he is.
A handicap. A lot of interest in the return of Shogun Lodge, who's a little more popular on the tote than what for speed, of course, is Shogun Lodge. What a duel for the lead coming to the 600. Majestic Fiesta's trapped in no man's land, joined by Fair Embrace. Sticks and Stones is there. Lucky Night, the Little Tucker, and Centre Fire. What a go. Not far away, Marchioness, Poetic Papal. Good margin, Chuckle, and Shogun Lodge is last. Around the corner they travel now, and Majestic Fiesta's on the extreme outside. It shows the way narrowly, maybe from Centre Fire, the Little Tucker, Lucky Night, Fair Embrace and Marchioness. Poetic Papal's close enough to the fence from Sticks and Stones. Shogun Lodge warming up. Majestic Fiesta grabbed by Lucky Night, Marchioness, and then comes the Little Tucker. Lucky Night in front. Here's Shogun Lodge rattling home. Shogun Lodge is overpowering them. Oh, magnificent return by Shogun. Shogun Lodge from Marchioness. Sticks and Stones. Shogun Lodge warming up. Majestic Fiesta grabbed by Lucky Night, Marchioness, and then comes the Little Tucker. Lucky Night in front. Here's Shogun Lodge rattling home. Shogun Lodge is overpowering them. Oh, magnificent return by Shogun. Shogun Lodge from Marchioness. The Little Tucker not far away was Sticks and Stones, and what a marvellous old horse he is. A tally of $4,573,564. What a marvellous, marvellous horse. Bobby Thompson bringing him back following the failure in the Doomben Cup on the 24th of May. He was scratched from the race the other day. The shorts, the track wasn't suitable. He's a firm track horse. And he's now had 56 starts for 13 wins, 12 seconds and 7 thirds. Bobby Thompson down in Melbourne, of course, and because he's got Thorne Park in the next in Melbourne at 5 to 5. And Billy Davenport, Bobby's right hand.
Right, from Sportsman and Reactive, 11 and 14 from 4. Sportsman's a double figure odds on course. Thorne Park is the horse which is second favourite. Race due to go in 17 from now.
Race without luck in the Epsom handicap. Suit is ready. Sure, Bob Thompson would have had his eyes glued to the TV sets a little while ago. Wonderful return from the old stage of Shogun Lodge. Next around the outside, runs to win in the centre, and they were followed by St Basil. Thorne Park buried away on the rail as they corner, and then Scenic pulled out wide as they corner. Next is Salgado, No Deposit, and one more round. Regal Roller said ta-da around the turn. He shot 3 lengths in front. Shades of last week. Coming after him though is Thorne Park now. Thorne Park is starting to reel in Regal Roller. Thorne Park has taken the lead. He's bolted 2 or 3 lengths in front of Regal Roller, then Reactive on the outside, but Thorne Park absolutely trotted in. Thorne Park beats Lord Volksride getting up for second. Regal Roller, Salgado, Reactive photo finish for third, and they were trailed by Thorne Park, number 2. That's been a brilliant run He's come from...
Well, how about that? A double in Sydney. Shogun Lodge, first win for quite some time, and Andrew Bensley, his other up-and-coming star to the fore.
Yeah, he's had a very good day. 2 in Sydney, and now this one. Probably doesn't match Shogun Lodge about 15 minutes ago.
No, I don't think so. No, he's a great horse, Shogun. It's great to see Shogun win.
What about that, though? There's been a few doubters.
All honest to the winner, he was way too good for him, Ronnie.
Oh, look, he's a class act, and I'm really, really happy to hear Bobby say I'm going for the Salinger. He's an explosive horse, destroyed his rivals yesterday. Look,
Mr. O'Hara, a rating of 87. Elfstrom is the $2.30 favourite, a very good run last start in the Caulfield Guineas. Patrick...
8 winners have come through this race since 1986, the race. Ransom run off his legs. Elfstrom is being tackled quickly by Kempinski. They really clap on the pace, and the two favoured runners go together. Canny Opera's hard ridden. Mr. O'Hara and Life's About He come with runs. Elfstrom, I don't think he's asked for the supreme run yet, Payne. On his outside, Kempinski. The two favourites cornering together. What a great battle this is, and they've broken away from Life's About He. Elfstrom the inside, Kempinski on the outside. They're going hammer and tong. What a ripper finish. 100 to go. Kempinski the outside. Elfstrom won't refuse to surrender. He's coming back. Kempinski just had the nose in front and just wins, though, from Elfstrom. And they were 5 lengths in advance of Life's About He. With runs, Elfstrom, I don't think he's asked for the supreme run yet, Payne. On his outside, Kempinski. The two favourites cornering together. What a great battle this is, and they've broken away from Life's About He. Elfstrom the inside, Kempinski on the outside. They're going hammer and tong. What a ripper finish. 100 to go. Kempinski the outside. Elfstrom won't refuse to surrender. He's coming back. Kempinski just had the nose in front and just wins, though, from Elfstrom. And they were 5 lengths in advance of Life's About He. Mr. O.
And the race in Kenny.
That was like a world title fight. They just traded blows from the 500 metre. With that lightning move, he just joined him.
This is a fairy tale so far, Walter.
Yeah, it was a big gamble, as people say.
Elfstrom.
Aaron, he could have been a little more vigorous on him, I would have thought, Ronnie. He only hit him with the stick once, but the two colts were by far the best in the race, and they made the others look ordinary. The others behind have got no hope in the dark.
This was a great race. This was the race of the day. Kieran, what...
Shot. Clangalang rated the only danger at $5.50 with the remainder of the...
Well, he's opened up well in the red on course, similar to the Toad odds.
3 horses that ran last year since the Cox Plate. It's staggering. I mean, Lonhro's had 11 starts for 10 wins and won over $2 million. And
with everything?
Oh, everything's great. It's just so exciting to have a runner in the great race.
This is at the 600. Fields of Omar, 2.5 away. Paraka's gone. Defire runs on, then Clangalang. Lonhro handy enough now. He's within 5. And the big black horse is unwinding. Here he comes. Fields of Omar goes to the lead from Defire. Lonhro within a length of the leaders now. And then came Clangalang and Natural Blitz. Fields of Omar, Defire with Lonhro challenging on the outside. Fields of Omar first for home from Defire. Lonhro under great pressure the outside. It's Fields of Omar the inside, Defire, and Lonhro the outside. Fields of Omar still has the lead. He's going to do it. Fields of Omar by a neck wins the Cox Plate. Defire second. Lonhro's run third. Nick Zagalia. Long break to Clangalang, and they were followed then by...
Omar ahead in front of Defire and Lonhro joining in on the outside. They straighten up. It's Fields of Omar a neck in front of Defire. Lonhro down the outside. Fields of Omar a neck in front. Defire trying to get in from Lonhro. Fields of Omar and Defire. Fields of Omar the inside. He's hanging on. Fields of Omar. You've done it. Yes, Fields of Omar. He's done it. A neck on the line. Defire. 3/4 third is Lonhro. Then Zagalia followed by Clangalang for the back shower of Roses. Natural Blitz. And last of all is Paraka.
can you believe it? The bloke that called the race, his horse, won it. What about that for a story? Neil Cooney went up and...
Fields of Omar has won the Cox Plate for 2003. Number 3, Fields of Omar, Stephen King.
That is a great win for Tony, man.
And the man alongside me, I fear, might jump out of the broadcast box any moment. But congratulations to Brian Martin and all his team.
McAvoy.
It's fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
What about that?
A little bit earlier, didn't you?
It was the hardest ever, Pete. It was the hardest ever. But I just want to come back and see this horse. He's come back from nowhere. I cannot believe it.
He's had suspensory ligament troubles, which is not quite as severe as tendon problems in horses, but he's had two suspensory ligaments and had to come back twice. The last one he did after the Australian Cup in the autumn. And horses do come back from suspensory ligaments, but to come back at this level, it's very rare.
It's right.
Fire and Lonhro and Clang-a-Lang and Natural Blitz were. I thought they would have to do something special to beat him. I was very comfortable then.
Let's just pick up on that point then, how far back Lonhro was. Now, I'm an absolute Lonhro fan, and I think the horse is a champion horse, but he was way out of the race early in the race, and I don't blame Darren Beadman for that, because it was the horses in front of him, horses like Defire and Clang-a-Lang, who I think allowed a horse like Fields of Omar to get way too far in front of them. And, you know, Darren had no choice. He couldn't go up 3 deep and make a run from the 1,200 metre mark, so...
Can he... A Derby in 22 minutes. Let's give you some figures. Our Sky ratings are with Kempinski from Elbstrom, Victoria Derby. Let's join Greg.
Of the leader now, being trailed further back, Canny Opera. Elfstrom is following Noble Red, and then Al Bahari, followed then by Captain Zigzag, not responding to hard riding, followed by Penitentiary, and then Dunkirk and Dembellis. The Derby field is on the swing for home, and Face Value the leader, but Kempinski is moving into the race with great purpose, and he hit the front. He's gone to the lead at the top of the straight, coming home well Al Bahari and Noble Red, and now Elfstrom is starting to wind up. Kempinski at the 300 leads by 2 lengths. Here comes Elfstrom on the outside. Al Bahari is going with him. Noble Red battles next. 150 to go. Kempinski in front. Elfstrom is after him on the outside. Oliver wields a whip. Elfstrom got level and went straight past Kempinski. And Elfstrom strides away to win the Derby, beating Kempinski a length and a quarter. Third Bahari, 4 lengths away.
He settled much better today, and Damien has wound him up with about 400 to go.
The 2 horses now, Elfstrom is probably worth $5 million. Is a Victoria Derby winner with the pedigree he's got by Danehill from an Oaks winner, and by golly, he's worth a fortune. And
Lord Volksrad is a rating special number 11 over 16 Wingroves.
Dan, a few ups and downs last.
Definitely a Flemington horse.
It's been an outstanding crowd attendance. Now Shogun Lodge from Salgado and Cool As last of all. Past the 800 and the leader is Sports from To Be Fair. No Deposit third, Inspired fourth, Galapagos Girl fifth from Regal Roller. Crystal Finale, Deep Wingrove on the fence, followed by Squalani, Scenic Peak, Palladium Star. Then over on the inside, Shogun Lodge and Lord Volksrad, a fair way from them, and then Debrief, Salgado and Cool As. In the straight, 600 to go. Well, coming to the 400 now at Sports in front of No Deposit. To Be Fair, Wingrove, Debrief going up from Galapagos Girl. Inspired, and then comes Regal Roller. No Deposit in front, coming to the 200 from Sports. Then comes Debrief, To Be Fair, Lord Volksrad and Scenic Peak. No Deposit is the leader with 100 to go. Shogun Lodge. Shogun Lodge is bursting through. Lord Volksrad and Scenic Peak. Shogun Lodge, Lord Volksrad, Scenic Peak. I can't pick it. Shogun Lodge, Scenic Peak and Lord Volksrad. 3 of them hit the line together. It's a great in front, coming to the 200 from Sports. Then comes Debrief, To Be Fair, Lord Volksrad and Scenic Peak. No Deposit is the leader with 100 to go. Shogun Lodge. Shogun Lodge is bursting through. Lord Volksrad and Scenic Peak. Shogun Lodge, Lord Volksrad, Scenic Peak. I can't pick it. Shogun Lodge, Scenic Peak and Lord Volksrad. 3 of them hit the line together. It's a great finish in the Alambi. Salgado and Cool As close up with
$6.80 Lord Volksrad. $1.90, Shogun Lodge at $4, so 3, 11 and 1.
And Scenic Peak back to his best form. Shogun Lodge, well, does he ever run a bad race, really? I mean, it's very, very rare to see him run a bad race.
The mare has delivered a higher rating at every run than its previous performance. It goes for a spell, comes in, starts off a little bit lower and goes ahead again. Makybe Diva's very, very close to what's required to win the Melbourne Cup already, and there's no analyst who could look at this racing pattern and not anticipate that up in class and up in distance on Tuesday, this horse will find the extra 1.5 lengths it needs, and I think Makybe Diva will win the Cup.
Well,
you know, look, that was just poetry in motion, Dominic. I absolutely adored every comment you made. People have said, why hasn't it won this preparation?
With all that.
Well, you know, I think she's going to start about $8.50, something like that, and I think that's a respectable price. I've assessed her a 7-2 favourite.
Oh, OK, there you go, folks.
The top raider
from County Tyrone, Mr Prudent and Distinct.
40 and second in the Caulfield Cup. Makybe Diva at $9.40. The owner of Makybe Diva tried to back that mare to win $1 million yesterday in the call of the card.
Must be good money in tuna fishing, Bruce.
I believe, Andrew, for Mamul.
Yeah, look, this is the best horse supported in the race, Mamul, by a long way. It's going to start.
Makybe Diva 15 at least from the leader, trailed by She's Archie, and they were followed then by Mr Prudent and Grey's Song. Well back is Big Pat and Yakama as they came to the turn, and then came Piace. Holy Orders drops out last. They're on the bend at the 600 metres now, and Mill Street the leader. Out after it, Zagalia, frightening, and Hugs Dancer joins in 4 wide. Just behind them is Mamul as they corner from County Tyrone, and then Jardines look out. Here comes Grey Song down the outside, and Yakama the widest runner. Zagalia at the 300, frightening with Makybe Diva going for a run. She's finishing hard, and wider out now. Pentastic is joining in, and She's Archie runs on, but Makybe Diva shot away. She's out by 2 lengths to She's Archie. Pentastic and Zagalia. Makybe Diva in front. She's Archie tries hard, but Makybe Diva wins the cup. She's Archie second. Photo third either. Pentastical. Jardines look out with Close Up on the inside. In 4 wide. Just behind them is Mamul as they corner from County Tyrone, and then Jardines look out. Here comes Grey Song down the outside, and Yakama the widest runner. Zagalia at the 300, frightening with Makybe Diva going for a run. She's finishing hard, and wider out now. Pentastic is joining in, and She's Archie runs on, but Makybe Diva shot away. She's out by 2 lengths to She's Archie. Pentastic and Zagalia. Makybe Diva in front. She's Archie tries hard, but Makybe Diva wins the cup. She's Archie second. Photo third either. Pentastical. Jardines look out with Close Up on the inside. Zagalia, and they were trailed further back by Distinctly Secret and Grey Song from Yakama.
9 horses running around Australia today. 2 at Echuca in country Victoria. He tried to back this horse to win $1 million at the call of the card yesterday. He's backed it to win $700,000. He backed it at 50 to 1 earlier in the spring. He bred her himself. He tried to sell
$103, the 12-17-1 trifecta. Pentastic was 4th.
As well as cashing in $500,000 from the bookies.
Oh, I'm not worried about the money side. I think what David's done and...
Jump well. So I think if Makybe Diva wins the Melbourne Cup, trainers for years will revisit this program that David Hall has chosen for this horse and make it a template for a perfect Melbourne Cup preparation. This horse, each preparation has stepped up in distance and up in class every run, and has delivered. The mare has delivered a higher rating at every run than...
Ratings like it too. They've labelled it as special. Timberina, Portland Damask and Rinky Dink 1, 2, 6 and 3. Running through the figures, there's already $725,000 in the win pool.
Okay, he gave it some chance on that occasion, but I just think the extra distance...
Pearl as they swing for home. Timberina's a good way back on the rail. Danish Peak at big odds cornered in front of Royal Mask. Rinky Dink trying for a run. Grandly with a run on the outside. Dane Beltar pocketing Special Harmony. Awesome heavy bumping going on there, but Ollie's got the favourite in the clear. Grandly the leader at the 250. Special Harmony now Stokes up, and the favourite dashes to the lead in the Oaks. Dane Beltar running on, and Timberina down the outside, but Special Harmony opening up for Damien Oliver, and the favourite Special Harmony bolted in. Dane Beltar 3 lengths away second, Grandly third, Timberina ahead away fourth, and then came Jenna Rosa, who's come last in the Crown Oaks.
Yeah, she's a very good filly. She's probably nearly my best winner of the race for the 3rd time. Would have been something beat if she hadn't got out.
Well, that was the question, wasn't it?
Once you got her into the clear, she balanced up beautifully, didn't she? Yeah, there was one trying to hold us in, but they were never going to hold her. She was going too good, and we pushed our way out, and it was all over there, mate. What about next year for her? Yeah, well, definitely the Caulfield Cup, you know, and perhaps the Melbourne Cup. We'll just see, because, you never know with the 2 miles, but she's shown it 1.5 miles, no problem for her today.
A lovely, big, strong horse, this fella. The top weight come out of the race, so it's made it all for him. Good win the other day in the Class 3. Had his job getting through it down the straight, so his win was even more meritorious.
Away from the rails, being followed up on the outside by Palatine. Starcraft has ridden along a little bit, coming up towards the home turn. He's starting to close on them now, but he's still 6 lengths off the leader. But Pope's bringing him to the extreme outside to give him plenty of room. Poetic Heights is still the leader, exquisitely trying hard the outside. Lexington Park going to third, followed by Palatine and Starcraft on the outside. He's as green as grass, but here he comes. Here comes the favourite right down the outside. Starcraft went to exquisitely. He is good. Starcraft by 2 lengths, exquisitely second. Lex is still the leader, exquisitely trying hard the outside. Lexington Park going to third, followed by Palatine and Starcraft on the outside. He's as green as grass, but here he comes. Here comes the favourite right down the outside. Starcraft went to exquisitely. He is good. Starcraft by 2 lengths, exquisitely second. Lexington Park third, then Doran Donner and Perfect Sting Palatine. The next one home was Mixerdad, followed in by Field. Oh, pretty good horse, Starcraft. Pretty good. And Syndicate, trained by Gary Newell.
And Yell on the car line, ahead of Raja Lane and Del Zayo, and the favourite Yell at 250 and Super Elegant 410. Vocabulary has some support at 610. Let's welcome in John Hunt now.
Outstanding record here and Super Elegant. Always gone back to last now, but only 5 lengths covered them. And Super Elegant being well rated, leading from Yell, going up to join it. Confederate Kid made a line of 3. In fact, 4 deep because Vocabulary's there as well. Just behind them, Raja Lane, Rustic Miss, Del Zayo, and Natural Blister's going to swing the widest. Coming around the turn, Super Elegant from Yell. Vocabulary's coming home well. And then Confederate Kid. Super Elegant narrowly. Vocabulary's coming after him. Yell in the middle, struggling a bit. Vocabulary getting up to Super Elegant. Super Elegant kicks. Vocabulary drives. They hit the line. Bob and go. Vocabulary a nose to Super Elegant, I think. 3 lengths away. Confederate Kid just. Del Zayo and Yell are close up. Then
Brilliant performance, edging out Super Elegant and Confederate Kid. The trifecta paid
for the features there today. The Debonair, it comes up in 16 and ratings 1, 3.
Case for Steve Baster, and now Under the Bridge is lining up into the stalls. It's a good quality field this year, the Debonair. Flash there, Radio. Go Forever well back in the yellow as they swing round the turn, and then Gilded Youth. Kawita's pulled to the outside and Starcraft is last. Round the turn it's Weinstock from Promoted. Elfstrom over near the inside, just hanging it would appear, as Abdullah comes with a run down the outside, and then Escape, and Kawita and Starcraft is right down the outside. At the 300, Abdullah raced up and went to the lead. Elfstrom and Under the Bridge are coming through on the inside to tackle him, and Starcraft is coming down the outside. Starcraft wide out on the course, getting up to Under the Bridge and Elfstrom. 100 left to go. Under the Bridge and Starcraft. He's wobbling off the track, Starcraft, but too good. And Starcraft gets up to win by a length to Under the Bridge. Elfstrom third, Kawita fourth. Then Bushido, Escape, Abdullah, followed by Gilded Youth. Promoted, dropped out, and then Dane Fever. Back at the end is White. Ridden by Matt Papa. The Queensland Galloper racks up 4 in a row and has stepped out of restricted grade to win in dazzling style. We can say it's an upset, but I think those from Queensland who've been watching this horse closely would say far from an upset. He's been able to reel off some terrific finishing bursts to win. Seemingly in trouble at his most recent start. He was 8 or 10 lengths off the leaders at the 300 and unwound a dazzling finishing run. But I think most people expected he might have found them a little bit nippy at the 1400 today. Big giant horse. He'd had a few little problems. They thought
100 of the Guineas is going to in fact suit him probably a little bit better. Beautiful scope, lovely looking individual.
1-4 stakes at Caulfield, where Lonhro and St Elmo's Fire are equal top raters ahead of Super.
For the Group 1 CF4.
Yes, Lonhro, this is his last campaign, of course, coming up. I wonder if he can go through unbeaten.
Vocabulary is outside him, and then Lonhro, who's now 3 deep in midfield, with Zasman on his outside nearing the 600 metres. 2 lengths away to Tycoon Rule, a Natural Blitz and Pentastic on the rail. St Elmo's Fire, 550 left to go. Leads 3/4 Super Elegant and Sound Action. 2 lengths to Lonhro. He's within 3 of the leader, but Beedman's just working on him a little bit coming around the home turn. St Elmo's Fire joined and headed by Super Elegant, and then Sound Action. 2 lengths away Lonhro, and then Vocabulary. Well on the straight, Sound Action a neck in front of St Elmo's Fire. Sound Action. Lonhro pulled to the outside, having a bump with Vocabulary. It's with 100 metres to go now. It's Sound Action moving up to tackle Super Elegant. Lonhro stretching into his work now. The champion lunges. Vocabulary went with him. I think Lonhro knows Vocabulary. They did bump in the straight. Sound Action might have grabbed the third. Close up on the inside. 1:21.97 they've run. And he's turned what looked a defeat at the 150 metre mark into a most exciting and belligerent win. And the cream rises to the top. And Lonhro, well, he had to dig in. He was...
Graham, we saw an absolute champion at work yesterday in Lonhro. Anyone out there who wants to detract from that performance or say that horse isn't a champion, you're out of your mind. You're making a fool of yourself by espousing those theories. He is a champion. I hope you're choking on your humble pie, all those people who knocked him, because only champions do what he did yesterday.
Every now and again...
I rate him now a better horse than Octagonal.
Yeah.
And he's the hero-worshipped Octagonal.
Wow.
Octagonal. But Lonhro...
Now joins Northern...
Octagonal. But Lonhro...
Now joins Northerly and Bone Crusher as the winner of 9 Group 1 races.
A big one from Melbourne, Flemington. Elbstrom reset Starcraft under the bridge, 1, 8, 5 and 4. For the Cadbury Australian Guineas, where Elbstrom is the favourite. 3-year-old ranks Reset, who's had 3 starts for 3 wins, all at Caulfield.
And the Queenslander Starcraft is last at the 700. Bushido on top today before the bend by a length, promoted second. Dane Fever is third, and Reset's had the run of the race, swinging around the turn. Elbstrom's coming wide around the outside with Del Zao as they swing for home. Starcraft is following them into the race. Bushido first around the turn at the 500 in the Guineas, leads by 2 lengths now. Reset given his head with promoted on his inside, then wider out Del Zao. Starcraft is the deepest runner on the outside of Elbstrom, who's battling away. They come to the 300. Reset is centre line. This is his moment. He races to the front now. Starcraft the challenger. Reset a neck in front. Starcraft coming at him and they fight it out. Reset the inside on Starcraft. Reset keeps on finding something. He's a great 3-year-old. Reset a neck to Starcraft. 3.5 away under the bridge third. And then came out Del Zao. Starcraft is the deepest runner on the outside of Elbstrom, who's battling away. They come to the 300. Reset is centre line. This is his moment. He races to the front now. Starcraft the challenger. Reset a neck in front. Starcraft coming at him and they fight it out. Reset the inside on Starcraft. Reset keeps on finding something. He's a great 3-year-old. Reset a neck to Starcraft. 3.5 away under the bridge third. And then came Elbstrom. Never quite settled today. Next Del Zao, Dane Fever.
Starcraft, he gave it everything, Starcraft. He just couldn't quite...
Yeah, I mean, he's just outstanding, I've got to say.
He
I'm very impressed. And you're right about Elbstrom. That is a bit of a forget run.
Yeah.
Damien, never mind, that's a day.
Give credit to the second horse. He's got so much raw potential, that Starcraft. They gap the rest of the field. Them 2 horses have got sensational futures.
Ahead of Alinghi, Way West and World Peace. As I say, the race due in 15 minutes as we display the latest totals in this season for the Amy Blue Diamond. Alinghi at $1.80. Positive drug result. Kuzi got the race.
Alinghi is second last on the inside. Find the Cash ahead of her. And World Peace is last as they came up the side of the course now. And it's Wager on the inside, a narrow leader. By ahead to Zilzi. 2 lengths away, San Zero, Way West. One World striding up outside these, next to Norham. Courtney's Cuddle Squad, followed by Alinghi and Find the Cash together. And they were trailed coming around the turn by Deafin and World Peace. Into the straight, and it's Wager the leader. One World 3 or 4 wide coming at it. Zilzi's under the whip next as they straighten out, and then came San Zero. World Peace is making some ground. Alinghi's in the clear. Wager well clear though. Out to the 150 by 3 lengths. Here comes Alinghi sailing up the middle of the track. Wager in front. Alinghi stride by stride. She's a mighty filly, and Alinghi beats Wager by a length. An outstanding win. Third is World Peace, 4 lengths. Wager the leader. One World 3 or 4 wide coming at it. Zilzi's under the whip next as they straighten out, and then came San Zero. World Peace is making some ground. Alinghi's in the clear. Wager well clear though. Out to the 150 by 3 lengths. Here comes Alinghi sailing up the middle of the track. Wager in front. Alinghi stride by stride. She's a mighty filly, and Alinghi beats Wager by a length. An outstanding win. Third is World Peace, 4 lengths away, and they were standing victory to score one of the most emphatic Blue Diamond victories in many years.
Do it with fillies as good as she is. I mean, I just said to Lee straight after the race, I mean, on the corner, we both thought she was probably 100 to 1 of winning. If she could have run home and run a nice second or third, it would have been a great effort. But, you know, I mean, yeah, what can I say? I mean, she's obviously very, very good, and, you know, it takes very good horses to do what she did.
Going
at Royal Randwick, the running of this year's Apollo Stakes. Ambulance, the 100 raider in front of Sport, the 1400, and the favourite here is Private Steer.
It'd be 12 lengths from Shower of Roses. Working along past the 700, No Change and Shower of Roses. About 2 lengths clear on Accelerator. Sportsman third, followed on the inside next by Forum Floozy. Private Steer is getting a little bit closer from Xana, and then My Chanticleer Bedouin, and still 2.5 lengths to Ambulance. Shower of Roses taken some 3 away from the rails and straightening up. Shower of Roses, 1.5 lengths on Accelerator, followed on the outside Private Steer. She's joining in very, very swiftly now, and so quickly, in fact, she hits the front, and Private Steer as Larry Cassidy lets her down. She put 2 Accelerator, Shower of Roses gone, and then Xana, Forum Floozy, Ambulance making ground. But how good this Private Steer. She's classed with a capital C. Accelerator second, then Xana, but Private Steer followed on the outside. Private Steer, she's joining in very, very swiftly now, and so quickly, in fact, she hits the front, and Private Steer as Larry Cassidy lets her down. She put 2 Accelerator, Shower of Roses gone, and then Xana, Forum Floozy, Ambulance making ground. But how good this Private Steer. She's classed with a capital C. Accelerator second, then Xana, but Private Steer trots in. Private Steer beat Accelerator, and then came Xana on her ear. Oh, she could have gone round on 3 legs. She is really something special.
Staying it. She has them collared when she wins impressively with, 100 metres to spare.
No,
and I reckon that's a sign of a real top one.
Winners have all but conceded only bad luck and beat champion galloper Lonhro in Monday's $1 Million Australian Cup. Flash will start a hot favourite to farewell Melbourne racing, the same way his famous sire Octagonal did 7 years ago.
2. Here's the market. Lonhro still even money. Let's hear from Steve.
9th on the table. He'll jump to number 6 today if he's successful, and he will be closing in on Octagonal. There's every...
But they're supporting Maccabi Diva, and the one that...
100 left to go in the Dali Australian Cup. It's Physique in front. Mummified popped off the fence, 3/4 away. 2 lengths to Sound Action. Lonhro the inside within 4 of the leader, coming around the turn now. And then Del Zao followed by Elstrom. Zacello is hard ridden, then Fantastic. Maccabi Diva, the jewel, dropped out last. Physique the leader in the straight from Mummify. There's the gap coming for Lonhro. Sound Action tries to pocket him. Beatman in a bit of trouble trying to force through. He got checked, the champ. And Sound Action hit the front now from Mummified. Lonhro, the champion's in desperate trouble. Del Zao's gone past him. 150 to go. He's got to the outside. Del Zao in front. The crowd roaring, go Lonhro, go. But the 3-year-old's in front. Del Zao. Lonhro, he's coming. He's going to get there. Yes, Lonhro won it. What a champion. What a way to go. He beat Del Zao. Elstrom is third. Zacello is hard ridden, then Fantastic. Maccabi Diva, the jewel, dropped out last. Physique the leader in the straight from Mummify. There's the gap coming for Lonhro. Sound Action tries to pocket him. Beatman in a bit of trouble trying to force through. He got checked, the champ. And Sound Action hit the front now from Mummified. Lonhro, the champion's in desperate trouble. Del Zao's gone past him. 150 to go. He's got to the outside. Del Zao in front. The crowd roaring, go Lonhro, go. But the 3-year-old's in front. Del Zao. Lonhro, he's coming. He's going to get there. Yes, Lonhro won it. What a champion. What a way to go. He beat Del Zao. Elstrom is third. And they were followed closely by Fantastic, Mummify and... What a champion. He was staring defeat right in the eyeball at the 200. Off the canvas, as only champions can do. Lonhro has won the Dali Australian Cup. A momentous win, perhaps his greatest ever, his 10th Group 1. He was...
Hey, John, is that his greatest win?
I think so, Peter. He got into a bit of trouble, just after he straightened, and only champions do what he did today. So, I think any other horse would have got beaten, but...
He is a freak. He's supposed to overcome a difficulty like that and win.
The defining race in this horse's career. Oh, look at that little fan. We saw her earlier today. That is... Well, let's go for a ride with Grant Allard, because Mark Howard did just that.
He's a superstar, mate. They cannot call him not a champion. He was knocked down and knocked down. He kept coming away as a champion.
He looked gone up the straight when he got hit.
He's a champion, mate. He's a champion.
Best horse you've ever seen?
Oh, without a doubt, I reckon when anyone says a champ. Good on you, buddy.
I'd say that is one of the most emotional wins I've ever seen. Lonhro is now a champion. And all
champion, an absolute champion, to do what he did today. I've ridden some great horses, but to do what he did and at that critical point.
That you've enjoyed, how does that moment last Monday rank?
Oh, it has to be the best, I think. You know, Melbourne Cups were great, but this race and this horse plays a real special part in my life, and
it was just one hell of a call by Greg Miles.
He's best ever.
He really is something else, isn't he?
Special Harmony, top rater, Deep in the Woods, Demerger and Sunar, 1, 3, 2, running through the figures there. It's a one-horse race. According to punters, $1.
Dropped out to be last at the 600 metres now, in Demerger is about a neck in front. Special Harmony closing on her, and 3 lengths away Escarpment looked to be beaten, and they were followed then by Sunar under a great deal of pressure, and next in the field Set Diane. Coming around the home turn now though at the 300, and Preble just released the brakes a little bit, and Special Harmony shot 2 or 3 lengths in front of Demerger, about 4 or 5 lengths further back Sunar on the inside, and then Escarpment, but she is head and shoulders above them. Special Harmony 4 or 5 lengths in front and is going to coast in the Woodstock Bourbon Moonee Valley Oaks. Preble giving her a nice soft run, and Special Harmony won it by about 3, perhaps a little more. Demerger second, Sunar is third, and then a break 10 where it'll be either the Oaks or the Derby. And she's so dominant in the female ranks, I'm sure.
You rated, Dominic?
I think she's a champion. I think that she's won 7 out of her last 8 now. It's silly to say to be a barrow trial on the BMW, but it's a $2 million race. I mean, I can't imagine how you would not run it in the BMW, given the dominance of the really good 3-year-olds when they do run in it. It's easy to observe that she hasn't been beating very much, and she's been kept to fillies in nearly all of those wins, bar one, when she raced the Colts. But Lee's done a brilliant job placing this horse, and I think now is the time to go out and win some big cash.
And as for the option,
I've been beating her
Look,
like
she's a great mare. But I want to see her in a competitive field before I get carried away.
You'll get your chance.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right.
Here, Bunsen Honeydew and
$1,000. And it is a Group 2, and 12 months ago, Natural Blitz, Karen McAvoy beat Platinum Scissors.
Forward is Penitentiary. Starcraft has been shuffled well back through the field. He's back to near last now, in company there with Dancing Draggers as they come up towards the home turn. They've got 450 metres left to go. Aneed is the leader. Aneed in front of Sadler's Song. Braylock and Oxano to the outside. Point of Honour starting a run. Delzao's working into the clear, and here comes Starcraft. Starcraft is right down the outside, and in a couple of big bounds he's raced up to them to go to the lead from Point of Honour. He hasn't really gone for him as yet, and Starcraft is starting to draw away. He's a giant of a horse. He's an equine Schwarzenegger, and he's racing to the line to win brilliantly. Starcraft first, Strafe second, third over the line Delzao, fourth in to Star, that horse. Jesus, Star.
Here, Wayne. Arrogance almost. I mean, what a win, what a horse. I mean, there's a bit of Farlap. No, not suggesting he's Farlap, but there's a bit of Farlap about him today. I mean, he was in an impossible position. The acceleration before the turn, how wide he went, and then Bossy switches off here, puts the brakes on. Is he the Derby favourite? And the yellow's at home.
Sectional run was 35.53, and the official...
Very good racehorse, because at about the 600 metre mark, when he was at the back of the field, he was a long way out of the race, and I was standing with some very learned judges who said this horse will have a job ahead of him from here, and he made ground under a hold. He made ground under a hold to get up outside the leaders, and I think that's the sign of a very good horse. Let's...
you know, I honestly believe he's one of as good a 3-year-old as I've ever ridden, and...
Stakes at Rose Hill in 12 minutes. Lonhro a rating special. Private Steer, Grand Army, Keep the Faith.
Rider Darren Gauci aboard Octagonal, and Darren took him up to the...
Nair's a little low, so Little Lonhro. Can he do it again today? It's a big job, 2,000 back to 1,500. He has swept the board in Sydney.
He's scissors. Then Lonhro. Beatman hasn't done anything on him as yet. He's still 6 lengths off the leader. And Private Steer last of all. They're running up towards the home turn. 500 metres left to go. And Keep the Faith is the leader. Titanic Jack is getting up at the inside. Gentle Genius is coming wide, followed by Grand Army. He's sprinting quickly. Platinum Scissors and Lonhro down the outside. Then Private Steer. Grand Army in front. Here comes Lonhro. Lonhro's joining in, the big crowd roaring for him. Lonhro hits the lead. He's just in front of Grand Army. What a magnificent sight. Lonhro's accelerating away from them. The big black stallion charges to the line and wins by 2 lengths. Lonhro first, Grand Army second, third was Private Steer, followed him.
Putting in his run now. They come past the 300 and the crowd is starting to cheer already. They're sensing Lonhro's win. Lonhro cruised past Grand Army, followed by Private Steer, but it's Lonhro in full flight, providing another magnificent spectacle, and Lonhro has walked in from Grand Army and Private Steer. Platinum Scissors followed home. 7-4. The totes are $1.30 and $1.20 for Lonhro. Panic.
Yep, and that's 11 Group 1s for Lonhro. Octagonal.
The AJC Australian Derby at Randwick in 14 minutes' time. It's not far away. Special Harmonies, the top rater, Niello, Starcraft and Del Zao. 12-2-3. The first out to 370, so a bit of a drifter. Niello on the tote. Starcraft and Special Harmony are the two that are...
My Lord of the Land. Starcraft wedged away and then comes under the bridge, followed by Elstrom, Dancing Daggers. Niello second last and Kind Actors last as they come to the home corner. 500 metres out and Braylock is the leader, a length on Timberina. Special Harmony being called upon by Oliver, and then Del Zao followed by Starcraft. Boss has got him away from the rails, and the Gold Coast Colt is starting to come down the udder, and Niello heads the others. Now 200 metres to go. Special Harmony struggles. Here's Starcraft after Braylock and Timberina from Del Zao. Starcraft on the outside races up to Braylock. Starcraft and Braylock, the two of them go to the line. Starcraft on the outside, or Braylock, and a terrific finish. They're wide apart. Third posse going to Del Zao from Elstrom, Timberina. Further back, Special...
Well, he's a brilliant racehorse and he has a wonderful future, Starcraft. He's off to the spelling pad.
12th favourite. With the unplaced Special Harmony.
I thought he was going to win quite convincingly, but at the end of the day, he's probably not going to be remembered as a great mile-and-a-half horse. I think he's going to be best remembered as a miler, and probably 2,000 metres would probably be...
100 metres before the post?
For sure. He was completely gassed. Actually, getting to this point now, about 150 out, he was completely gassed, and, pretty well had to draw on all his reserves and stick his big buff head out. Luckily he's got a big one, so...
The Doncaster Handicap being run on Easter Monday this year, and Private Steer is the top rater from True Glow, up from Grand Army, last year's winners at 10. Other horses in the teens there, Pentast $18, down to Vocabulary. Kablamo a record in this race. Secret Savings, Sprint By, Assertive Lad.
Fantastic near the inside, fast away. Grand Army is going to be ridden for speed and going...
What was to follow? One of Australian Turf's great performances. Private Steer in the blue colours, last and seemingly no chance.
Where is Private Steer? She's last as they straighten up. And here comes Grand Army. Grand Army with a brilliant run right down the outside. He is swamping the opposition. Grand Army went to the lead. Private Steer is flying home. Grand Army, Private Steer. Private Steer has got up to win it. She jumped down to the ground, Private Steer. Where is Private Steer? She's last as they straighten up. And here comes Grand Army. Grand Army with a brilliant run right down the outside. He is swamping the opposition. Grand Army went to the lead. Private Steer is flying home. Grand Army, Private Steer. Private Steer has got up to win it. She jumped down to the ground, Private Steer.
Her win compared to the great Superimpose, another cause for celebration for Boss.
Is in front of him there, is absolutely nowhere to go. And he's thinking, what have I done here? And then suddenly a gap appears. And he dives at it. There he goes, straight into the gap, Glenn Boss. And then it's just got to be luck from there on. Does the Red Sea open for him? And it certainly does.
And here's Grand Army coming down the outside. And it's about here you're saying, go, John, aren't you?
It's just a brilliant effort here. And the last, she did exactly the same thing yesterday.
It was mounting yard mayhem.
John O'Shea. I got sold out of the 1,000. I got 2 bad checks and I just shook my head in absolute disgust. I thought, of all days, I just shook my head and thought, no hope. That win will be talked about for a long time because she should not have won. Absolutely should not have won.
How does that rank in your career as far as important
Mate, that's equal to the Cup. Equal to the Cup.
The fair potential, Private Steer late. Grand Army is the leader. Private Steer's gunning it down. Private Steer got up to win it from Grand Army and Ambulance. Then this man should miss potential. A mare by Dane Hill Dancer from Lyshino and a Bay Mare 4 starts 17, win 10.
A punter has bet $5 million to win $1 million on Lonhro when the champion ends his career in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes tomorrow. Darwin-based bookie Michael Sullivan says it's the same gambler who bet $3 million in Lonhro's previous 2 races.
He's actually the best horse I've ridden. He's just got superior qualities. He's got great...
And Grand Army are equal top raters. Then Pentastic and Sound Rider.
He won the race 12 months ago. He defeated Pentastic and...
Sound Action, he hasn't made a move on Lonhro as yet. And last of all is Kablemo. Grand Army is 5 lengths in front now. Darren is starting to go forward. He's giving the champ a little push. He's out about 8 horses wide coming to the home turn, but he's still 6 off the leader. Grand Army on the home turn now in the Queen Elizabeth. Grand Army straightens up. He's 10 wide. He's 4 lengths in front. Lonhro's coming to the extreme outside. He's chasing Grand Army now. Kablemo's over on the rails. Then Sound Action. Grand Army topping the rise. 3 in front of Lonhro. Lonhro's stretching. He's straining on the outside, but Grand Army's well clear of him. I don't think Lonhro can do it. Grand Army, he got away with an easy lead, and it was too much for Lonhro. Grand Army goes to the wire, wins by 4 lengths.
In a controversial finish, much to the crowd's disappointment, the great Lonhro was beaten in his last race outing.
Friedman was blamed for Lonhro's shock defeat.
A disappointing finish, not a very good ride.
But it wasn't all doom and gloom. The bookie Michael Sullivan took a $5 million bet on Lonhro, his defeat delivering a dream payday.
He owes us about 12 million. We've just got 5 million back. That's the best we can do.
Chris Hodgkins.
But Lonhro joins a long list of horses who finished their career in defeat. Sunline, of course, was beaten at her last start.
Army by 3 lengths on Lonhro. Beatman has to get desperate on the champ. Grand Army still 3 in front of Lonhro. He can't do it. It's Grand Army in front. Lonhro can't get near him, and Grand Army spoils the Lonhro party. Grand Army all the way from Lonhro and then Pentastic, followed by Kablamo.
Let me preface my comments by saying Darren Beadman, I think he's one of the most outstanding jockeys I've seen in my lifetime. I call him a friend. I've known him since he was a boy. Very rarely rides a bad race. But yesterday, it was possibly saving the worst till last. I think it was a dreadful ride on Lonhro. I thought he made a critical error in the first...
In fact, I was down in Melbourne yesterday and they said, well, at least he went out in a farewell and a blaze of glory in a race that we'll all remember down here in Melbourne.
All-age stakes, and it's now being run over 1,400 metres. Private Steer heads the ratings ahead of Yell and now...
One of the big races of the day, another Group 1, it's the Daily Telegraph All-Age Stakes. Then Brave Flyer. A length further back is Fair Embrace wide. In the middle, Victory Vane and Private Steer brings up the rear. In the All Age, they work their way to the 600 marker, and Our Egyptian Rain is the leader, 3/4 to a length. Yell. 2 to Hasna, followed by Ancient Song. A length and a half further back in the run, Defire, followed by Mystigic. And then Brave Flyer over on the rails, Fair Embrace. Private Steer's close enough to the inner, and Victory Vane is last. Around the corner they travel. Private Steer's gone up into about 5th posse. Our Egyptian Rain, joined by Yell. On the outside, Hasner and then Ancient Song, and Private Steer is still grinding away, and now Defire's coming down the outer. Private Steer is out after the leader, Our Egyptian Rain. Our Egyptian Rain, Private Steer closing the gap. Our Egyptian Rain still in front, but Private Steer, Oh, what a wonderful mare. She's done it again. Private down the outer. Private Steer is out after the leader, Our Egyptian Rain. Our Egyptian Rain. Private Steer closing the gap. Our Egyptian Rain still in front, but Private Steer. Oh, what a wonderful mare. She's done it again. Private Steer nosed out Our Egyptian Rain with the fire third, and yeah, what a marvellous mare. Number 5, the winner, Private Steer.
She surprised you in these last 2 runs. They're just been unbelievable performances, both wins.
Ronnie, I've always had a good...
And yet he still finished off very well. I think he's heading for a very good Queensland Carnival to fire.
I agree.
A bit of a concern. It just depends if the track's got shifty or, you know, so many things can come into play, but, you know, we can't do anything about that now.
Righto, thank you, Al. Last stick to victory 2 or 3 seasons ago, but they both look very well weighted, Super Elegant and Bomber Bill, despite heading the weights on 57 apiece.
When placed, or when winning in Melbourne, I should say, down the straight.
Recurring back second last on the inside of Debrief at the 650. French bid by 3/4 of a length, maybe McLaren, Ellie Course, Sam Suit. Followed by Skewy from the centre, then came Super Elegant, Naden very wide. Broadband held up in the centre, over on the inside was Blessem, Chablais improving deep. Around Blur, further back in the field came Danabar from Regent Street. Bomber Bill's a long way back with Paraka ahead of him at the 300 in the Goodwood. French bid grabbed by Super Elegant, who let down with a lightning burst of speed and dashed away. Chablais runs on down the outside strongly, and it's gone clear of Blur. It's Super Elegant clear from Chablais. Late Recurring from Nowhere's flying, but it'll be too late today in the Goodwood. Super Elegant won by 2 lengths. Recurring came from near enough to last to grab second. Danabar's closed late and got third for mine from Chablais, Blur, Blessem, Regents.
On the Goodwood, we've got correct weight for 2, 17 and 13. Quinella paid 4.
He's been a fantastic horse for Tony Vazel, Super Elegant there. He's a real journeyman, a genuine Group 2 horse in the Eastern States, and beautifully placed in the Goodwood handicap there yesterday. Greg Childs rode another great race.
Greg Childs here, as he said, he didn't want to get into the race too early, and I liked the way he sort of accelerated off the turn and put a gap into them. It was pretty impressive, this horse. If he does go to Brisbane for the 10,000, he's going to take a bit of beating, I'll tell you, because the trip's no worry. He's won over 1,400. He's won a Liston Stakes. So
the 100 Raider, Star of Florida, Make Mine Magic and Scenic Peak. The feature of the day, without a doubt. It'll be a beauty, this. The Weight for Age Richmond Grove BTC Cup. Nice.
Towie in the enclosure, Regimental Gal. She was Towie going out of the gates too. A length away, Scenic Peak racing on the inside of Forest Jim. 2.5 to Raw Instinct, Consular, and Thorn Park goes back to last. They're heading past the 600. Star of Florida by a length and a half. Regimental Gal second, Keffel third. Make Mine Magic fourth as they neared the corner, followed by Scenic Peak, Forest Jim, Consular, Raw Instinct, and Thorn Park's a mile from them. Around the turn, 350 out at Star of Florida. He's out by 2.5 to Regimental Gal coming after him. So is the grey Make Mine Magic. Then Keffel followed by Scenic Peak and Thorn Park. Star of Florida still well clear. He's 2 Regimental Gal, Make Mine Magic, and here's Thorn Park. Star of Florida the leader. Thorn Park is absolutely mowing him down, and I'm not sure whether he got there. Followed by Scenic Peak and Thorn Park. Star of Florida still well clear. He's 2 Regimental Gal, Make Mine Magic, and here's Thorn Park. Star of Florida the leader. Thorn Park is absolutely mowing him down, and I'm not sure whether he got there. I'm not sure. Thorn Park and Star of Florida, there's only a nose between them. The judge can decide. Third's another photo. Has come from the tail of the field and has got up on the line to win. Got up on the line to win.
50 of the 10,000, so all systems go, and I couldn't get over. A 10 out of 10 for the ride. It
was a lovely
ride. One of the
ride.
best rides I've seen on this horse.
Yeah, well, that's... Now, Thorn Park gets to the outside here. He's still 4 off Star of Florida. They've got 80 to go. He's 2 off him. They're inside the red marker. And then Thorn Park nails him right on the line.
Doomben 10,000. It's been Weight for Age for about 5 or 6 years now. Big lineup of 3-year-old fillies this year too, getting in with the lightweight. Let's check the market. It's due in 28 minutes. Super Elegant, Our Egyptian Rain, Only Words, and Galini. Number 7 was the scratching. That's how they look at the moment, with 325,000 in the pool now. And the first jockey that we catch up with, Galini.
Here's Galini about to go over. King's Chapel, Unearthly waits to go over. So does Thorn Park. You will go a long way on any race course in the world to see 2 better looking horses than Thorn Park and Galini. 700 metres, Mark Galini is the leader. Only Word second, Super Elegant third, Ancient Song fourth, the outside. 1 hour Egyptian Rain inside, Miss Potential. Sportsman going up quickly on the outside from Tatiana, then Unearthly. Besame Mucho losing ground on the fence, and then Scenic Peak, Sadekram, Conchula. Thorn Park's last inside, King's Chapel. Galini leads in the straight, the 350 metres. Only Words tackling him. Miss Potential, Sportsman, Our Egyptian Rain, Super Elegant trying to get out, and then Scenic Peak. Miss Potential went to Only Words and Super Elegant. Here's Our Egyptian Rain getting in the clear. Miss Potential, Super Elegant claimed by Our Egyptian Rain. Our Egyptian Rain and Super Elegant. Our Egyptian Rain, Super Elegant, Super Elegant. Super Elegant fought back and beat Our Egyptian Rain. Our Egyptian Rain, Super Elegant trying to get out, and then Scenic Peak. Miss Potential went to Only Words and Super Elegant. Here's Our Egyptian Rain getting in the clear. Miss Potential, Super Elegant claimed by Our Egyptian Rain. Our Egyptian Rain and Super Elegant. Our Egyptian Rain, Super Elegant, Super Elegant. Super Elegant fought back and beat Our Egyptian Rain in a cliffhanger. It's a photo third between Scenic Peak and Thorn Park and King's Chapel out deep on the track. The next time enough on Our Egyptian Rain, but Super Elegant, Greg Childs has won. He's won by a breath over Our Egyptian Rain. First force paid just over 6,000. The daily double on 2 and 1.
And when they steadied up, they started to bunch up, and I was concerned I might not get out. But we got a nice tight split at the top of the straight and charged through like a top Group 1 horse should do.
At the finish. Asked me this morning to ask you the question that was Rod Lyons, the owner of Super Elegant. He said to say, will you ask Richard, now that he's won the Group 1 in Brisbane, do you consider the Goodwood a Group 1 race? Was it won by a Group 1 horse, or does it have to go to the lead to be trained?
It was won by a Group 2 horse who then improved to win a Group 1. Doesn't make the Goodwood any better race than it was on the day.
It does.
It does not. Subsequent events have no bearing on the activities of the day in Morphettville.
Well, in reality, Richard, you're wrong there, because the figure that he returned...
Reality is something I wouldn't be asking you about.
Oh, well, that's exactly right. Yeah. But you were wrong,
It's not in your
Fonzie.
dictionary.
Now,
the reality is, let me finish, he returned a higher rating in the Goodwood than he did yesterday.
What, on your ratings?
Yeah. So what, they're rubbish too?
Well, I didn't say it. Now...
Fantastic, and King Keitel, 4, 1, 2 and 5. And with quite a bit of time before the Doomben Cup, we'll be able to bring you all of the news leading up.
2,200 metres the distance. Great Anna moves in. Cut the Cake is ready. This man metres to go. So assertive. 3 parts to This Man Should. Another length and 3/4. St. Basil on the inside of General Minolta. Defies about to get off the fence on the point of the corner. Fantastic's tracking him. And then King Keitel, and Lawler makes ground with another Warrior as they turn. So assertive leads to the 300. This Man Should's after him. There's plenty of room now for Fantastic. Here's Defire. St. Basil and General Minolta's down the outside. Fantastic and Defire. They've hit the lead together to 100 to go. Defy the outside's ahead in front of Fantastic. It's Defire in front. He's getting away from Fantastic. Close to home, and Defire wins the Doomben Cup. A length and a quarter. Fantastic. 5 away third. Upset them. Here's Defire. St. Basil and General Minolta's down the outside. Fantastic and Defire. They've hit the lead together to 100 to go. Defy the outside's ahead in front of Fantastic. It's Defire in front. He's getting away from Fantastic. Close to home, and Defire wins the Doomben Cup. A length and a quarter. Fantastic. 5 away third. Upset them, I think, ran third, and nose in front of either This Man Should or Cut the Cake, which is close up behind.
So we're piloting Defy to victory in the Cup today.
Great.
Isn't there a great difference between true weight for age horses and handicappers? You saw the gap over the last 200 metres between Fantastic and Defy, who are guaranteed weight for age top-line performers, and the rest. It just got wider and wider.
It's for 2-year-old colts and geldings over 1,200 metres. 100 metres, and Shut is the favourite for this one. Number 11, a rock-solid pick at $2.10.
Lee, you've got an interesting runner in this upcoming race, race 2. Shut, is that the way you pronounce it?
Shut, yeah.
What's it name?
On the fence, and Heavenly Cruise 4 wide. Now the favourite, Shut, back 4th last on the inside of Lang Park in Contemporary, a couple to Willie Leica. They're on the bend, 500 out. Enciero on the inside, and Crafty, King Kane, Toshi Millions. They make a line of 3. Admiral Spy looking for the run through, followed by General Patton, Black Suit, Ryan Royal, and Shut's a fair way from them. But I'll tell you what, if he can get out, he'll be in the finish. He's trying to get get into the clear. Enciero's got a good break of the 200. Kane Toshi, Mindels, General Patton, and now Shooty's in the open. Have a look at him go now. Enciero the leader, but have a look at Shoot. This is a star in the making. Shoot has raced to the lead from Enciero, and Willie Leica from nowhere. Shoot bolts in, wins by 2 lengths from Black Suit Ryan Royal, and Shoot's a fair way from them, but I'll tell you what, if he can get out, he'll be in the finish. He's trying to get into the clear. Enciero's got a good break of the 200. Kane Toshi, Mindels, General Patton, and now Shooty's in the open. Have a look at him go now. Enciero the leader, but have a look at Shoot. This is a star in the making. Shoot has raced to the lead from Enciero, and Willie Leica from nowhere. Shoot bolts in, wins by 2 lengths from a photo between Willie Leica and Enciero. The next home, Lang Park Million. You've seen a star in the making here. You've seen a star in the making. The rumours were in Melbourne that this was good as a lingy in the early 2-year-old days, and I'm here to tell you they're right, and I'm not taking anything away from a lingy. And they'll want to know where he bought him, what he paid for him, where he came from, where he's going. I think he's going to the top.
On Park, 20, 9, 1 and 4. Here's the market. True Glow has come up at $14. 35 Bomber Bill, 11 Setacrum. Thorn Park at $4.20. And we've got Pomp and Glory and St Basil.
Best 5, and he's going to get a nice smothering behind them, and as I say, he's got the pace to sort of just be in.
Sadekra, Make Mine Magic, Face Value, followed by Conchula. True Glow is third last, and he's wide from Unearthly, and St Basil is last. 600 metres left to go. It's Sportsman on the inside. Pomp and Glory, Brits Best, a line of 3. Our Egyptian Rain gets the gun run fourth, followed by Bomber Bill, Ancient Song, Gordo, Forum, Floozy. Further back, Recurring, and Thorn Park and King's Chapel get to the outside. Sportsman leads at the 300. He's out by Wonder Brits Best. Here's Recurring, and Thorn Park is coming down the outside with an absolute scorcher. Thorn Park and Recurring go to the lead together inside the 200 with Thorn Park. He's rushed to the lead. He's dashed away. Conchula went to second on the outside. It's Thorn Park in front. Conchula won't pick him up. Thorn Park wins the Stradbroke from Conchula. Out by Wonder Brits Best. Here's Recurring, and Thorn Park is coming down the outside with an absolute scorcher. Thorn Park and Recurring go to the lead together inside the 200 with Thorn Park. He's rushed to the lead. He's dashed away. Conchula went to second on the outside. It's Thorn Park in front. Conchula won't pick him up. Thorn Park wins the Stradbroke from Conchula. St Basil third, Scaredy Cat fourth, followed by True Glow Kings up the ground. But Thorn Park's been able to go home and beat him, and that's his last race start. He's off to start in New Zealand. That's his first Group 1 win, and congratulations to all concerned, particularly Bobby Thompson, who's...
Now at Eagle Farm, we've got correct weight on the Stradbroke. Thorn Park.
Followed by True Glow Kings up the ground. But Thorn Park's been able to go home and beat him, and that's his last race start. He's off to start in New Zealand. That's his first Group 1 win, and congratulations to all concerned, particularly Bobby Thompson, who's...
Now at Eagle Farm, we've got correct weight on the Stradbroke. Thorn Park ahead.